Hey everyone, this is London Bridge Bricks, and this is my review of issue number 77 of Blocks magazine. So here we go then, another month and another Blocks magazine. So down the top here, we've got Lego Porsche 911 design secrets revealed, and then we've got the mechanic here, and he's perched on Ninjago City Gardens itself. A nice lavish picture. Over here it says the set review, the build, the project, and the prize draw for the City Gardens. And then over here we've got Star Wars original sets revisited. And the magazine takes a look back at the year 1999, which, in case you didn't know, was the first year that we had the first wave of Star Wars. And then over here, talking of waves, we've got the second wave here of the Super Mario sets. And then down here it says celebrating the women of Lego, exclusive interviews. So this is issue 77. And it comes to the UK at retail price of £5.49. Now, I actually got this magazine free from Blocks, so thank you very much for that. But all my views are of course my own. Now you might be thinking, Greg, why is this magazine here instead of kind of being over here? Well, it's all the way over here simply because this is a special edition where we've got this special gatefold cover pullout. So I want to give you guys and girls out there the full experience of this. How cool is that? So we've got the trio here of the Ninjago City set, starting of course with Ninjago City, and then of course we've got the City Docks, and then we've got arguably the greatest and of course the latest Ninjago City Gardens itself. And I think it looks amazing, I really, really do. Then later on in the magazine, they actually got a modification here to kind of help bring a little bit more height to the docks area. But it's a lovely picture, I really, really like it. And I think it's a nice addition as well, and you kind of see it in all its glory. And I can't wait to build all three sets later on this year myself. Okay, so page 12, and we've got ourselves, it tells us 7 things that we need to know about video as well. Now I've picked up 2 of these beatbox sets, so Party Llama, the Alien DJ, and the minifigures are absolutely fab, and the Beatbite tiles as well. I think they're really, really good. I mean, video is kind of like this new venture between Universal collaborating with Lego, and it's kind of like this new augmented reality video app. It's a bit like, I don't know really, it's, you know, we had Hidden Side, which was kind of like, it definitely had all the augmented reality, but this one has got the added benefit of creating music videos as well. If you've used it, please do let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And then over here, we've got the Blocks magazine conversation this month with Lego Masters USA contestant Amy D. Dansbury, and she says, I've been looking through the various questions and so forth. She sort of says that as she's got older, she's found that Lego, in an easy way to explain, is kind of, she's used it for like problem solving and communicating engineering problems as well, which is kind of, you know, it's kind of interesting to see how people use Lego differently. It really is. Page 15, we've got ourselves a new Monkey Kid sets arriving, or March actually. I know quite a few of my friends like Brictionary and Tech Productions, they've actually already been buying them. We've got this set 8024, which is the awesome looking flower fruit mountain, and then there's an interesting story over here as well with a build with buddies, a new conceptual idea called co-build, offering online instructions to allow multiple people to build the same Lego set together. Apparently it's in a way that keeps them occupied as well, which is kind of interesting. We have to see how that story develops. And then over here on page 16, we've got this month's hot topic. It's about the Lego themes of today, and will they turn out to be future classics? Now, all three, Graham, Kat and Daniel, they all kind of talk about Ninjago being the one that's kind of withstanding. I mean, it's been going for 10 years, so I mean, does that make it a classic already? I mean, and it's still going. I mean, I think that's pretty good going. But Daniel makes a really good point about, you know, having this kind of franchise approach, give the theme that important staying power. And I think that's a really good point, and certainly one that they need these days. And Ninjago, you've got, you know, recently you've got Hype that coming out with some Ninjago clothes, and I think they're pretty cool. And you can certainly buy all sorts of Ninjago merchandise on Amazon as well. Then over here on page 17, we'll be getting a couple more idea sets being made. This round of like 34 ideas, well, actually it was incredible actually, 34 ideas from the last round being rejected. I mean, that is an amazing number. And I'm going to be interested to see how many of those ones that were rejected actually get made by Bricklink themselves. That's kind of, they never, at the moment anyway, when they reject them, they don't actually tell anybody if any of those are actually going to be made for Bricklink. You know, it's almost like a second prize to give. But anyway, I suppose time will tell. But of course, this one's one that got picked, and to me, actually, there was no surprise at all, especially with all the dot stuff that have been coming out most recently, and all the mosaic stuff. We've got the Vincent van Gogh Starry Night by someone by the name of Truman Cheng, and then from the previous round, and this is the one I'm really excited about, we get Sonic Mania Green Hill Zone by Viv Granell, and I'm really particularly excited about this one because I'm interested to know, and again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Will we get a Sonic character or Sonic minifigure, from Sega, before we get a minifigure from Nintendo? Because that's going to be really interesting for me to know that. Simply because we're getting loads of Ninjago stuff, of course, in the form of Mario, but as yet we've not had no minifigures at all. This is good fun. Yeah, page 18-19. So we've got this month's top 10. It's kind of music-inspired figures. I'm loving the Biff band. I really am. I've got quite a few of those for my Sizely set. I actually really love them. They look great. They really do. And then other ones we've got along here. We've got the Beatles at number 2. I mean, it's very rare the Beatles be at number 2. I actually thought I would have put money on them being number 1. But actually, the guy who's coming at number 1, I think he looks pretty good. Actually, he kind of reminds me a little bit of my own Sig Fig, actually, and I'm liking the record as well. I think they're liking just because he's kind of an all-round music lover. I suppose that's a very good way of going about it. But let me know in the comments below what your favourite musical minifigure is, and it's probably, highly probably anyway, going to be maybe even a video character. But I've got to give special mention to this one as well, will.i.am. That is an exclusive one as well. So let me know if you managed to get one of them, and how much would they be worth as well? They must be worth an absolute fortune. Anyway, over the page, page 26-27, this one actually made me laugh a lot because Kat discusses the curse for all Lego fans, and it is, of course, dusting off this display sets. I mean, blimey, that's quite extreme, that is, isn't it? Imagine having a set that big and doing that. You have to get, I mean, how many sets has there ever been where you actually have to get up on ladders to actually dust off the very top of it? It's incredible. So, one of the big articles in this month's magazine, and we've got ourselves it's nice actually because it's the Blocks magazine celebrating the fact that it's International Women's Day, and that was kind of like last week here, it's called beginning of March, and the magazine kind of shines the spotlight on 5 women that make Lego magic happen. So we start off with the Lego Group's Julia Golding. She's the Chief Product Officer, and she leads a team of 1,800 strong people, and it's kind of like and her role really does span kind of various departments from marketing to licensing. And she said that the Lego YouTube channel recently hit 10 million subscribers, and this year it's had 10 billion views. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, 10 million subscribers is out of this world, but imagine that, having 10 billion views as well. I mean, that's just incredible. But apparently the interesting fact that I took away from her interview is that Lego is the most popular brand channel on YouTube. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. It really is. So next up we've got Senior Design Manager, and I do hope I get the name right, but Tara White. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, White. Anyway, we'll go with Tara White. She's kind of like the Lego go-to person for Lego minifigures, and you can see her there holding up some Lego Disney things as well, some Disney characters. We've got ourselves Stitch there, and Mickey Mouse there, and Buzz Lightyear. And over here we've got the women of NASA as well, which do you know what, is actually one of my first Lego idea sets, and I absolutely love it. I really do. Okay, next up, and we got again, I hope I pronounced this right, but Signe Wiese as well, and she's kind of like she's their corporate historian, and she's one of a few historians actually dotted around the world, because obviously Lego's international, isn't it? So you've got to have more than just someone who can speak English, or in this case English and Danish. You've got to have people that kind of speak all sorts of languages. So you'll find several different historians dotted around the world. And then we've got someone who I am actually fairly familiar with, and that's Laura Perrin. Now, she's the designer of the Lego Dots theme. And then lastly, we've got ourselves, again, I hope I pronounced this correct, but Signe Landholt as well. Now, she heads up the Lego Ambassador Network, otherwise known to you and me as LAN, of course. But it's, you know what, it's actually a really good read, and you kind of learn a lot about the goings on behind the scenes, as well as how fortunate people feel about working for Lego. I mean, for me, that would be like a dream come true. You know what, there's an interesting fact that several of the people that do work for Lego have actually worked there for 50 years, and that is remarkable. So over the page now, we get into one of my favourite sections, the reviews, because I'm always interested to know if what I think is kind of agreed with what these guys think. And of course, let me know what you think about their scores as well down in the comments below, everybody. So this is like, I don't know, I'm saying this is the set of the month. I mean, it's practically the set of the century, arguably. But anyway, I know Ninjago City went down well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that particular set in just a bit. But here, of course, we've got Ninjago City Gardens. This is set number 71741. Retails at an astonishing £279.99. But it does come with 21 minifigures, 5,685 pieces. And I think the interesting thing is now, though, if you happen to have bought this set now without buying the previous two, are you kind of inclined now to kind of be the completist and buy Ninjago City Gardens and the docks, and of course the city set? Now you've got the City Gardens. I don't know, let me know what you think about that. I'm kind of a bit of a completist. I mean, for me it was the other way around. Because I had the other two, I kind of felt like I wanted to get this. And of course, it was made even nicer as sheer fact that I got it for my birthday as well, which again hasn't happened yet, so I can't build it for a few more months or so. But like I say, I really can't wait. And I love this temple area that they've got down here as well. And I've got a few other sets that I think could actually work with this particular one as well. But anyway, to cut a long story short, they give it a 97 out of 100, which I think is pretty good going, actually. It doesn't get too much better than that. Over here, we've got the two kind of exclusive figures that come with this set. The Mechanic, which I think is pretty cool. And we get ourselves a kind of reimagined version of a young Lloyd. And of course, we get this particular one as well. This is the figure to have, which is Golden Woo. He kind of marks the 10-year anniversary of the Lego Ninjago, and if you buy other sets from the most recent sort of 2021 Legacy wave, you get some of the other figures as well. So it's kind of like this sub-theme to it all as well. But let me know again what you think about that. 97 out of 100. I know, I mean, piece per pound count, I think it's actually really good value. I really do. And honestly, I can't wait to build it. And everyone I know who's built it, and I know loads of YouTubers that have built it, they all really, really like it. Let's have a look here. Now, this particular one here, Wiggler's Poison Swamp, this is my favourite set from them. This is the kind of like the one I will get, albeit I might get it when it discounts a little bit. But it's got this, I don't know, it's just a little bit more playful. I mean, it gets probably, I think that's the highest score. Yeah, 64. It gets the highest score, and probably rightly so as well, because it's just got a little bit more, you know, fun factor about it, or at least as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, you kind of got the Wiggler there, and I've got to be honest, the Wiggler is actually a really good rendition, like a Lego rendition of the Wiggler himself. And you kind of wiggle him enough, and then it kind of unfolds this bridge here, so Mario can kind of continue on with his Mario adventures. But let me know if you've actually bought this set. It comes with some pretty decent pieces as well. And then over here, you've got the power-up packs as well. And again, they kind of, I always think they're quite fun, actually. They kind of give you a new dimension in having the Mario figure. But again, I kind of get them on discount because I think initially they're quite expensive. I mean, £9, there's not really a lot that you get with them, but they normally end up retailing on Amazon for about £6.50 or something like that. And then over here, of course, we've got the character pack. Now this is the series 2 pack. And we've got ourselves some pretty decent characters here. Now my favourite ones out of this, I quite like the Ninja. I think he looks pretty good. I like the poison mushroom as well. He's kind of quite cool. If you pop Mario on top of him, you kind of it gets all dazed and stuff, and I think that's quite a nice sort of touch. I think it quite looks really good as well. I think it's colourful. You know, I think there's a lot going for it, and out of a lot of this, and again they score it the highest, I think this is kind of like the series that or at least the sets that people like to try and collect for the Mario sets. But again, let me know what you think about these particular ones, and at least coming in their bags and that, they're kind of quite easy to fill. I think Flight Guy is quite an interesting one, and I don't know if it's just me, but the more I look at Flight Guy, the more I kind of see a sort of a ghostly Santa Claus. It's almost like something from the Christmas Carol or something like that. But now I keep thinking Father Christmas, Santa Claus, I can't not see it. Anyway, enough of Mario. Let's dive into the wobbly world of more Lego City sets, shall we? We've got the Blocks gives us the new road system here. And they give it an 80. Now, personally speaking, I actually quite like the new road system, and certainly for my city, I'm not going with the old base plates because, well, I only ever bought a handful of them, so it's pointless me going that way because Lego just seems to be going, literally down this road of the new system, and I quite like it. The only thing I would say personally, and they do score it quite high, is that for me, I say ditch some of these trees that you get here and give us more of these 2x4 kind of dark bluish grey tiles, because there is just not enough that comes with it. Because frankly, on your roads, you don't necessarily want them to have the single white stripes, but if you double them up, which is what I've done for my city, you're going to require more of them. And you know what the problem is? You can't buy them off Bricklink, and you certainly can't buy them off Lego at the moment. So you're going to have to substitute the 2x4 tiles for something like a 1x4 or maybe 2x2s or something like that, which at the moment, considering they've just kind of released this as of the beginning of January, is a bit of a pain. But hey ho, there's worse things that could happen. Then over here, skate park, they give that 39, and I actually think it's worth a little bit more than that, me personally, because I've actually built that on one of my London Eye streams, and I don't know, I kind of quite liked it. I thought it was quite simplistic in it, but I just thought it was quite good. One reference I do like in it was this here. We've got the shark singer here from video, and that was kind of like they were telling us all along what was coming our way. What I did like though about this is that you've kind of got the Vita Rush as well, the kind of cool lorry with plenty of Vita Rush bottles there, and it's kind of like their take on Red Bull. You've got like almost like I was going to say Red Bull flags there, but of course it's Vita Rush, all that, and you kind of get this guy over here in his wheelchair, and I just liked it. I just thought it was quite a fun set. But again, what I would have done if I was Lego, I would have not put the stripe, the 2x4 dark bluish grey stripe parts of the road in there. I would have just got some normal blank 2x4s in there. It seems a bit strange. It's almost like Lego is saying, yeah, it's fine to actually set up some ramps or whatever in the middle of the road, when really this isn't the middle of the road. It's a road piece, sure, but again, I think they could have shown a bit more of the versatility of this new road system by simply putting in a plain 2x4 dark bluish grey tile. But let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. And also as well, if you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help me do what I do around here. So over the page, and we've got ourselves some more Lego City sets as well, which are looking pretty cool. And over here, we've got some more. Now, I will say this about that, and these are all the sets that are obviously coming out with the new road system. Now, this particular set here, what I really like about this, and this is definitely a set I'm going to get, even though it didn't score particularly high, but you get this cycling lane here, which I think looks really good. Brilliant colour. I mean, it's super bright, and we've got plenty of those going through London as it is as well. And I'm definitely going to consider having a cycle lane in my city. But you've got this kind of cool looking truck here with the cherry picker, and I think that looks really good. I think there's a bit more of a versatility to it. I mean, the buildings there, they're not really doing much, but I will say this, there are some interesting trans clear windows there that they've used, so that's probably what bumps up the price a little bit of that. Yeah, £60 for, I don't know, 533 pieces. That's not bad in all honesty, but these plates, they do bump up the price. And then over here on page 62, yeah. Now this, again, they didn't mark these ones particularly high, but I'm not really too surprised in all honesty. With Minnie Mouse, for example, if you take away her eyebrows, right, and you take her bow and put her bow down here, just below her neck, well, it's another Mickey Mouse. It looks like the same thing. So, I don't know, it's one of those things. I think it's good that they've done it, but it's certainly not one of those that I'm kind of into. Okay, and here we have it then, the turbocharging with Lego bricks. So we take a closer look here at the Porsche 911 with Mike Pizzacchi he kind of bought, he's actually, when you read through it, and that, he's actually bought us other cars like the Mustang. And again, the Mustang is a set I can't wait to build. I know some friends that have built it, they absolutely think it's brilliant. But he also built the Saturn V as well, which is another great Lego set. So yeah, you can see why he's kind of classified as this design master, because he has absolutely designed some wonderfully masterful sets. So this particular set, the Porsche 911, it's nearly 1,500 pieces, and he talks about he talks about the differences between the turbo version and the Targa, and interestingly, actually, because I've always wondered why is it particularly white, but they do talk about the differences between the different colours that they kind of chose, and why in the end they actually settled on the white colour. And the set, interestingly, is one of the few sets that was actually developed and designed during the pandemic, and actually released during the pandemic as well. But what I will say to you is that on April the 3rd, there's going to be a kind of all-day transatlantic live stream between me and my good friend Brick Hive, and this car I'm going to be building during that as well. It's going to be one of those large Lego car live streams, and I can't wait for that because I absolutely love those. They're always good fun. Let me know as well in the comments what you think is the better out of the two. I think I'm going to go with the turbo. I'm going to go all in. I think it uses slightly more parts to it as well. And when you've got them side by side like that, you can really see the difference. Obviously, this one's convertible, and the wheel hubs and the bodywork is slightly different as well. But I do like it as well. And there we go. There's that sign. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting a copy of that poster. I wonder if you can get that maybe through the VIP points. So over here, moving away from that excellent interview, we've got ourselves a mod spot, Ninjago City Gardens, and in this one we get ourselves a bridge to kind of better join the docks with the other two sets as well, and there we have it there. And I'll be honest, it looks really, really good actually. Yeah, I'm liking that. What do you think about that as well? Do you think that's a good mod to add? It kind of, the way it works, and you know, again, it's one of those ones where instead of the minifigures kind of walking down and then having to come back up again, they can just walk across, and it just kind of gives the docks that little bit more height, like I showed you earlier on. Anyway, so that's a good modification to that. And then over here, mod 2 is a fire escape for the new Ninjago City Gardens as well. So over the page, and page 84, and we kind of learn some new techniques. And again, I like these as well. This is kind of quite interesting to kind of, you know, learn how to use the brick and how to build it and put it all together and stuff like that, and make it look like something from real life. Now this particular technique here, there's about 4 different techniques here. This one's my favorite one, twisting a classic, and this is kind of like the classic cactus, and the way you kind of just twist the parts around, and they call these Dalek bricks. I thought they had a different name, but anyway, they seem to always call them Dalek bricks, so we'll go along with that. Ideas and showcasing them. So Blocks, the block showcases the Lego ideas, and first looking at kind of Rich and Dane's submission here, which is the retro arcade, and I really like this. Definitely for my city, I would love to have an arcade, because I used to spend hours and probably more spending money than I'd like one of these when I was a kid here. So the whole mock is made up of roughly 1,849 pieces. There's an interesting exterior with rotating golden planet on top. There's kind of almost like the Daily Planet and the kind of golden sphere that they've got going on there, with that kind of rotating. You've got the arcade machines inside, as well as the photo booth, the racing bike game. It's all kind of laid out on this checkered floor as well, which I think looks pretty good. I'm liking, you know, some of the outside of it as well. You've got this coin car machine there. Over here you've got like a bubblegum dispenser. I actually had a look at the Lego Ideas page as well, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. And at the time of making this video, he was kind of hitting around the 9,000 support at the moment. So like I said, folks, I'll leave the bits and pieces down in the description for that, so you can link to it and show your support for it as well, which is kind of cool. Then over here on page 100, we've got more mocks on show this month. We've got the office here, which there seems to be a lot of people out there are kind of really wanting there to be a particular Lego Ideas office one. I've lost count of how many Lego offices that they've actually ever had. But one thing I will say, I don't know if it's an IP problem or something like that, but there's a lot of people out there that definitely would like to see a Lego office set made, you know, a bit like the Friends set. But again, let me know what you think about that in the description below or down in the comments, because I want to, the thing is, there's so many people that are creating this particular mock that something tells me, well, why, I think Lego should come out and just say why they can't ever seem to make them. But there seems to be countless, one every other month seems to go through. But anyway, let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. So, and then over here we've got ourselves the rewind section for Star Wars, and Graham Daniel will take us down memory lane, showing us the first wave of Lego Star Wars sets, and it's a really cool read actually. And what you kind of learn stuff from it, like the R2D2 print is actually the same print that they used then that they use now. Now you look at these particular sets here. Now this was wave 1. These two actually came in the same set. And, you know, in all honesty, they still actually hold up for today, especially these new ones that you've got out today. I mean, you look at this X-Wing fighter here. I mean, in some respects, it looks better than the latest one that's come out. Okay, the coloration's all wrong and everything like that, but the shapes there and the thrusters look absolutely brilliant. They really do. And look at this snow speeder. I mean, when you consider how old this actually particular one is, it still holds up really well for today. And then over here, this is kind of a good idea as well. So what they've done is they've taken the most recent starfighter for Anakin, and they've kind of made it retro. They've kind of taken it back in time and given it the 1999 look. And then over here, the last article in the magazine, and it looks at this kind of attraction that was born from the Bill & Factory tours, which kind of turned out to be Miniland, and it kind of would expand in the future. And then in 1968, Miniland would go on to kind of be Legoland, and then since then, you've got these various other Legolands that have opened up over time, and since then they've always said that they put the Miniland at its heart. And interestingly, back in the day, when the Lego group kind of faced the risk of bankruptcy, they sold off the Legoland parks to a company called Merlin, and then back in 2019, which of course was only a couple of years ago, Lego bought back the entirety of the actual Merlin company. And of course, that is the entirety of my review of Lego Blocks magazine, issue number 77. Thank you as always for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, and you can follow the channel on Instagram and Twitter. And if you happen to be new around here, why not hop on and subscribe and become a big part of the LBB family. I'll leave you now with some videos that I think you might like.